Long ago, when the world was younger and the gods walked closer to men, in a wealthy Igbo village named Umuaka, there lived a maiden called Olaedo. Olaedo was the daughter of Okonkwo, a man of titles whose barns were so full of yam that even the largest festivals could not exhaust them. His cattle roamed the pastures freely, and his family lived in a spacious compound adorned with clay walls, raffia mats, and carved wooden doors. From childhood, Olaedo was admired. She grew into a tall, graceful maiden. Her skin was smooth and dark, glowing like oiled ebony. Her eyes were sharp and glistened like morning dew after rainfall. Her hair was thick and beautiful. Her bosom was full and firm, her waist slender, her hips wide like the gentle curve of a calabash. Men who saw her often said, "She walks as if she owns the earth," and the earth agrees. Every young man in Umuaka village and in the surrounding villages desired Olaedo. Princes bought gifts of ivory and beads. Wealthy traders offered bags of cowries. Warriors decorated with eagle feathers stood before her father's compound. But Olaedo rejected them all, turning away even the richest and most powerful. Her parents grew worried. Her mother pleaded one evening as they shared roasted yam dipped in palm oil. "Olaedo, you shame us. Every maiden of your age has married, yet you send away suitors like goats from a garden." Her father added sternly, "Even the son of the Eze himself came, and you turned him down. Do you expect the gods to carve a husband from the clouds for you?" But Olaedo only laughed, her voice like the tinkling of anklets. "I will marry no ordinary man, oh. My husband will be taller than the Iroko tree, wealthier than all of Igbo land, and more handsome than the morning sun. Even the gods cannot compare to the man who will be mine." Her friends gasped under the great Udara tree when she repeated same words in front of her friends where they gathered to gossip and snack on the sweet fruit. The leaves rustled as though carrying her words to the sky. What Olaedo did not know was that her boastful claim, saying even the gods could not compare, stung the heavens. The gods of the land, proud and fierce, resolved to humble her. One afternoon, Olaedo and her friends, including Obioma, went to fetch water from the stream. On their way back, they heard footsteps. Out of the forest stepped a stranger. He was tall, his shoulders broad, his skin smooth as palm oil. His face seemed carved by the gods themselves. Around his wrists clinked rare cowries, the kind only the wealthiest men wore. His wrapper was rich, dyed in deep indigo, and decorated with patterns of wealth. "Good maidens," he greeted, his voice deep and soothing, like the Ogene bell. "Can you direct me to the house of Obia Julu, a hunter of this land?" The maidens giggled nervously, but Olaedo stepped forward first. Eager, she said, quickly, her eyes locked on his. Obioma also was taken aback. Her heart raced at the sight of him. Could this man not be mine too? She thought, envy already burning within her. The stranger introduced himself as Chike. After she guided him, he thanked her warmly, and though he left, his gaze lingered on her. Days later, he returned, meeting her again by chance on the same path. This time he walked with her longer, speaking of lands far beyond the rivers, of wealth, and of the beauty he saw in her. On the third meeting, he came boldly to her father's compound, declaring his interest. He spoke with eloquence, wooing her openly. To her friends, it seemed like a dream. To Obioma, it was a curse. She smiled outwardly, but inside her jealousy grew. Within a short while,
Chike proposed marriage. Olaedo, intoxicated by his looks and perceived wealth, agreed instantly. That night, Neka and Okonkwa sat Olaedo down. Olaedo, her mother began gently. We know nothing of this man. Marriage is not yam that one buys in the market. We must ask, who are his people? Where is his land? What name do his fathers bear? But Olaedo shook her head. I care not, Mama. This man is everything I prayed for, everything I boasted of. I will marry him now. Her father frowned. Daughter, slow down. A stranger without known kin is like a masquerade without a drummer. Who will sing his praise? We must investigate. But Olaedo stamped her foot, her bosom heaving with defiance. If you delay me, I will still marry him. He is mine. The gods themselves have sent him. And so, against their counsel, the marriage was rushed. Soon after, Chike said to Olaedo, Come, wife, let us go to my village. My kin await us. Olaedo followed him eagerly, pride swelling in her chest. She had won the husband every maiden dreamt of. But what she did not know was that Obiuna, consumed with envy, secretly followed them. The path wound deep into the forest where shadows stretched long. Hours passed. Olaedo grew weary. My husband, when will we arrive? She asked. Soon. First, we will visit my kin in a clearing ahead. They arrived at the first homestead, where he exchanged greetings with an old man who welcomed them warmly. But as they left the compound, Olaedo's eyes widened in horror. Chike's left foot was gone, leaving nothing but empty air where flesh should have been. She screamed, stumbling back. From behind, another shriek echoed. Olaedo turned and, to her shock, saw Obioma, her friend who had been secretly following them all along. Her face was pale with fear as she pointed at Chike's missing limb. The two maidens locked eyes briefly, then, without a word, they turned and bolted into the bush together. Branches whipped at their skin as they ran side by side, hearts thundering. But before long, Chike caught up with them. His grotesque grin widened as he stretched out his remaining arm. You cannot escape. You are mine. He forced them to follow him again, his presence pressing on them like a heavy shadow. At the next kin's compound, as they exchanged pleasantries, Chike dropped his right hand. It withered into nothing before their eyes. The maidens clutched each other, trembling, but dared not scream, lest the king notice. When they left, Chike strode ahead as though nothing was amiss, his body more unnatural than before. By the time they visited the third king, yet another piece of him, an ear and part of his nose, fell away. Olaedo and Obioma could bear no more. Terror overtook them, and together they fled once again into the forest, shrieking, their weapons catching on thorns as they ran. By the third night, the ladies were exhausted and weak. They hid beneath a hollow tree, whispering bitterly. This is your doing, Olaedo, Obioma spat, her voice sharp. If you had not been so proud, we would not be here suffering. Olaedo's eyes blazed with fury despite her tears. And you, Obioma, if you had not been envious, always wanting what I have, you would not have followed us. Do not pretend. I have always known your heart. They quarreled bitterly, their voices echoing through the forest. At last, they turned their backs on each other and parted in anger. But no sooner had Obioma walked a short distance than a dark spirit burst from the trees. Before Olaedo could rush to her, Obioma screamed, her body ripped apart by the shadowing figure. Her voice was swallowed by the forest. Olaedo screamed and ran, stumbling through the bush, tears blinding her. For days she wandered, chased by Chike's laughter. His voice mocked her. You called for a husband greater than men, greater than gods. Now see your price. Her beauty withered. Her beads broke. Her once radiant skin was scratched, torn, and pale with hunger. Finally, on the edge of the forest, she collapsed near her village. Hunters found her and carried her home. Her parents wept when they saw her.
She told her story, confessing her pride, her boast, and the punishment that followed. The elders shook their heads gravely. The gods are just, they said. Let all maidens learn. Pride is a rope that strangles. Envy is a fire that burns its owner. The gods will humble those who mock them. From that day, Olaedo was never the same. Her laughter was gone, her pride broken. She lived quietly, her heart scarred forever by the forest, the loss of Obioma, and the horror of the man she once desired.